So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the graphic. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here to our toolbar and we're going to click on this icon, which is for cropping our image. So a few things when we're talking about cropping that you need to know is that you can click this arrow and it will actually give you different shapes. So you could crop the image into any of these shapes that you desire. So for example, if I want to use this little explosion, then I can click on it and it will crop my image into the shape of that explosion. And then now I can add some color for the background and make it really pop there. That's one option for cropping. So another way that I can crop is by, I'm just going to go back here and undo that, is by going to this icon here. And then I have these little handles on the sides, which I can now use to make my image the size that I want it to be. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just drag so that I can focus in on the area that I want. Now I'm glad this happened because what I want you to see is that it actually resized the image as opposed to cropping. And this will happen sometimes. All I'm going to do is just undo that. The reason that happened is because I grabbed the marquee handle, the blue square, instead of the line. So it's a little tricky, I will admit. So you kind of have to play around with it a little. But basically, when you do grab that black line and then you move it, then you'll see that the image does not resize. It just cuts out the extra pieces. So that is kind of a tip there. So once I have it how I want it to be, and then I can drag it to the bottom, and I'm going to again press that shift button so that I can resize and it won't lose its formatting, and then I can just drag it down here. Now I do need to continue to crop because my image, if I downloaded this, would not actually show the whole size there because it's running off the canvas. So what I will do now is click on crop again, and then I will continue to change the sizing until I can see, okay, so right here, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see this little box underneath, and that's the transparent background for my image. So that means that I can move it down a little bit and be able to continue to resize. All right, so this is what I mean. When I cut it off, it's not big enough. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag it down. And okay, so now I can see that I've got a little bit of room to go. So I'm going to click on crop again. And I'm actually going to make it bigger by just dragging that line up to the edge there. Okay, and then when you click off of it, now this should be the exact size. So now that I have my sizing down, if I click on crop one more time, then what I can actually do if I want to change the view within that box is I can click on the image and then I can drag it up so that it will show this piece as opposed to just the top of the hand. And then when I click over here on the side, it's going to just show me what I want. So that's how we can crop in two different ways. Again, going to the crop image, or if you want, you can choose that downward arrow and you can choose one of these options and make it into any of these shapes here.